everybody. We are back in live on Spaces. All right, let's get this out and posted. Share this with people. Get George in here. There he is. Make him a co-host. Dun, dun, dun. Got the NXT No Mercy recap up, although I feel like we're going to have a good amount to talk about. There's a couple of topics in there I'm really excited to get into today. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Nice.
My schedule is all fucked up today. I'm sorry.
It happens. It's all good. Hey, I live in a state that has 2 different time zones, so I totally get that.
Dude, it's just, I was watching football last night, NCAA, and I'm kind of into the games. I'm drinking water, which I always drink, but I had like 3 bottles of water. Then I decided to go to bed. Well, at 60 years old, when you do that, I fell asleep around 2:15. 2:15 is terrible, dude.
Yeah, no. I get you. All right, well, we'll be all right.
So I ended up sleeping much later than I thought. Laundry was moved back. The football game happened. The Bills won again, so they're 4-0.
Damn, nice.
Pretty happy about that. But
I would think so. I saw somebody, I don't forget who it was, but I saw somebody putting the Bills over hardcore after last week of saying that, this could be the year. But yeah, I always feel like, I always think anything with sports, there's got to be a point where, like for me with soccer, I always tell everybody the season's like the end of August to the middle of May. I'm like, we can't really look at the standings until after the new year because they play a bunch of games around that time. I'm like, anything else before that, it's like cheap speed. I feel like with the NFL, you got to at least get to like, I don't know, week 7, 8, 9 before you can really.
You can start getting the feel around October-ish what's going to happen. So
yeah, I get to that. But also too, I mean, like with any sport, there could be an immediate derailment on anything with, whether it's an injury or.
The one good thing about football is it's weekly. So you kind of can nip it if you're good enough. If you're not, then you fall down. But
yep, no, and then I feel like the NFL and college football too, but the NFL specifically is so much a preparation league. Like the teams that always are consistently good, it's because of their staffs and their prep well. And like, it's, we joke about it sometimes with Tony Khan and the Jacksonville Jaguars, but like they're consistently being reported on by the anonymous NFL players that.
Well, Jacksonville won again today, so.
Hey, good for them. I just mean like with what they do and like with their facilities and stuff. Maybe they realize from the reports and they decide to get better with it.
That gets a little blown up once in a while because you look at the reports are done anonymously through players in the NFL and they don't rank high in the family aspect of the game. When you look at the salary and look at everything else, like they're ranked kind of in the B category. When you look at the family stuff, they rate a D. I think the one other thing was team facilities aren't exactly the best, but
I remember the team facilities and then the family stuff. I forgot, and I always thought that's more of like the interpersonal stuff and then the structure, which is one of the biggest problems.
Trust me, it's not as bad as some other teams.
Which I mean, that's totally fair. I do not follow sports nearly as close as I used to. I'm one of the people that, I feel like the pandemic really figured it out with people where a lot of people clung to it and it was more important to them, or like I kind of just like backed away from it more of like,
I jumped in full speed.
Hey, that's great. I love people. I appreciate and have full respect for the people that do. My love for my soccer team is more from my friends and the group that I've created around from it with it. But like for me, I just realized that it wasn't as important to me as I thought it was. Like I'll still watch and pay attention here and there, but if I've got more important things to do or, like, like right now because, I'm unemployed. So I'm looking for work. So I spent the last all day today doing that kind of stuff and replying back to emails and that sort of stuff. And, so I didn't watch any football today, but also the Cardinals played on Thursday and lost at the end like idiots.
Yeah, that was good.
That's what we do. I mean, like they call it the cardiac Cardinals and I'm like, it's never really on the good side though. Although, I mean, we went to one Super Bowl. That was fun. I was at that NFC Championship game.
That's cool.
2009. That was cool. No, that was one of those moments of somebody who was born and raised in Arizona and the team showed up when I was like 5 or 6. So like we really felt that. Like that was cool. you know, we didn't win the Super Bowl, but, you know, hey, at least we went.
Yeah,
We're no longer on that list when they
I kind of have a feeling how that is. Thank you.
but hey, at least you're not on the list where there's the list of like the NFL teams that have never made the Super Bowl. You know, you want to be off of that list.
Yeah.
You know?
When you're talking about the pandemic, the weird thing was I worked throughout the whole thing.
I remember you saying that. You were like, they made you guys
we're a window manufacturing company.
Right.
And we were deemed essential.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah.
But I worked all through that. So when I came home, it was weird because everyone else was confined and I was not.
Right. Yeah. No, that's an odd situation.
The sports was it, dude. That was it for me.
I could see it. Yeah. No, that makes a little sense. No, literally my wife and I were on our honeymoon when that all hit. And like, literally we were driving home from California and like, wait, do we have to like pick up toilet paper and stuff? Like we had no idea. I went from the world was normal to coming home to us being locked in the house with just my wife and the cats and I for months. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's weird.
But we at least get to have our honeymoon.
At least you got it in. That's good.
Yeah, no, I always joke that like we were like, you ever see like a monster movie or a Godzilla movie where there's like the tourist couple in the city has got like the big map and not paying attention to like the world destroying around them? That was 100% us on our honeymoon because we went to a Tame Impala concert and we went to watch a soccer game with the LA group that I hang out with of my team. And like we just weren't paying attention to the news. We just weren't caring. And then we were at Disneyland and they're like, yeah, we're closing tomorrow for the foreseeable future. It was like, oh shit. Luckily awesome. That was the day we were leaving and going home, but that was crazy. That was an experience, man. I get surprised that the world has so much division now with it, whether it's like with the tribalism. Cause like, shouldn't that have brought us closer together? I don't know. What do I know? Did you want to get the show notes out of the way? I know you had your, the book stuff.
Yeah, I got a couple things to touch on before we get to the review.
Sweet. Yeah, let's go.
So next week.
Yes.
October 5th is the trial run of this. If it goes well, I think Jake and I are open to doing this once a month, but we'll see how it goes next week. So next week, our time will start at 9:05 UK time, which is 4:00 Eastern.
Okay. All right. That's what I was thinking. All right. So and 1:00 Pacific. That works for me. That's perfect.
So that'll be the time we're going to start. The guest is going to be on X. His name is Honorary Zeus. He's known as Zeus.
Sweet.
On Twitter. So look him up. He's got many followers. He's going to start promoting the show when he wakes up in the morning, or he might pop in real quick and just see how it is. I told him to try to listen, but they're of course 6 hours ahead of me. Yeah. 6 hours ahead of me. So
yeah, no, I get it. As somebody
he might pop in.
Yeah, no, I get it. As somebody who wakes when we're watching our games, like we had a game yesterday. It was at noon Phoenix time, which is 3 p.m. Pacific, and it was the night game there. So it's like, yeah, it's hard to, you got to remember the time difference of it. That's cool. No,
we've been corresponding and stuff, and
came up with Zeus.
Came up with a good time. So.
Yep, he follows me, and now I follow him back. So perfect. There we go.
Yeah,
sweet. Hell yeah. No, I'm excited for that. That'll be fun. And like you said, if it's something that the people want for, we could do it every month, every 6 weeks, so often. It just kind of depends. Like with anything, I'm happy to update and change and flow based on what people like and what people listen to.
Yeah. He was talking to me yesterday. He said, well, when are you going to announce it? And I go, tomorrow. He goes, well, I'll start promoting it. So he's going to do his thing. His side, so.
I've got his profile here, so I'll make a thumbnail for it and start promoting it with through X and everything else too. Shit, yeah, that's fun.
He's a good dude. I've talked to him a lot, and I've listened to him a lot when I can, because he does his shows once in a while and pops up at 1:00 in the afternoon sometimes.
Right. Yeah, that time difference, man, it can really get you.
I don't think the dude sleeps. He was getting back to me yesterday. It was like, 9:00 my time? And he was talking. I'm like, dude, when the hell do you sleep?
Well, I mean, I think a lot of them are used to it in certain aspects of it with, especially with watching wrestling, because, with the internet age, you want to watch it live. And, if the pay-per-view's on at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern,
right.
That's
one of the main things we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And so like, I always had respect for those fans that get up and watch or stay up late or whichever and watch it. Like that's hard to do, man. That's why I sometimes will laugh at the UK fans who make fun of American soccer fans. And there's a lot of reasons to make fun of a lot of us. I get that. There's a lot of terrible American soccer fans, but the ones of us who really care and are willing to wake up at 5, 6, 7 in the morning to watch our team, like that's a commitment and a respect. So I can at least understand where he's coming from, where the UK fans are coming from with that. And, why they should be excited for, Crown Jewel coming up. Let's way more their wheelhouse time. Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. He's a good dude.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. That'll be cool. So that'll be
and he's good friends with
next Sunday.
Good friends with Dr. Gina. So.
Oh, sweet. I saw she was back today. That's cool, Chet. One of our favorite guests we've ever had. That's one of the most insightful conversations I've been a part of just in general. That was awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be a good time next week.
Cool. So
for sure.
So 4 p.m. Eastern. Got it. All right.
4:05.
4:05. Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
It was funny when I told him that. He goes, "Okay, so 9:00 my time." I said, "Nope, 9:05." He writes back with a smiley face. Good job, mate.
Nice.
I like that.
Hey, the people that respect, the people that get the reference, get the reference. That's which I feel like is smart for our group. We're usually skewed to a slightly older audience, which wait till we have what we record and give out to next week/next weekend. We've got something definitely geared more towards the older audience. I'm really excited about that, and you guys will be looking forward to that too. We
worked on this.
I was going to say this has been. I feel like this since the day we started the show. George has been working on this, and we've got it officially booked. So I'm excited for that too. Giving people a little tease.
Well, speaking of old people,
yeah,
I came across something yesterday I wanted to touch on before we get to the review.
Okay.
I was listening. I know you listen to it too. I listened to the drive-through.
Oh yeah.
And last mentioned Cornette. Did you watch the Io Sky Stephanie Vaquer match? Okay. Obviously he said no.
Right.
And he gave his reasons why he said no. And it made sense to me. Okay. My view on this is I get where he was coming from. He said that, first of all, it was two baby faces and there's no grudge between them and Stephanie Vaquer can't cut a promo. Okay. I get all that. I think the way Stephanie's picking up the language and the way that Cornette likes the babyface to talk, like a fired up babyface, I think she'll get there.
Yeah.
And he'll appreciate her when she gets to that point. She is not there yet. She can talk relatively good English. I mean, I am impressed. You were impressed. Absolutely. We're all impressed with it, but she's not a fired up babyface yet. You know what I mean? Right. She's just a nice, which I understand. I got his point of view. Okay.
Sure.
That was what I had to say there.
Yeah, no, I get the thing, and we talked about it actually previously too, about sometimes with the Japanese female stars and with how they just will yell and scream and and you're not understanding the language, and there's the barrier with it where they can kind of sometimes all seem the similar or the same. And then his problem is he watches also AEW, who just throws nameless ones out there for it. And the way he reviews it, which I understand, he kind of lumps it all together. I wish he had watched that match though, because I mean, it really was, like we said at the beginning, there was a bit rough to it, but when they really got into it, and it does show, I mean, Stephanie Vaquer, she's only been with the company since July of last year. It's hard to really fathom that, because she did a lot in NXT and she has grown so much, as, like you said, with her English, and I mean, her in-ring ability is top notch. So, but yeah, I think it'll take her a little bit more, because she's still, you can see when she's giving the promo that she's wanting to make sure she gets the word correct. So she's just kind of getting it out there as opposed to getting it with the fired babyface behind it. But that'll come.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I totally understood where he was coming from. Like
for sure.
When you look at when you look at that match, there's no reason for him to watch it.
Oh no, and I didn't expect it when the week before, when Brian asked him to, I was like, I mean, that's cool. I would like to hear his review of it, but I didn't expect him to, especially with it being the two shows in one day too. Like, that's one of those things where if they were separate weekends or separate days, something, but I mean, that's a long day for people who want to enjoy it. Like
especially they had to do a quick turnaround because he was getting some tooth surgery.
Well, I mean, like, there's different ways of going about it. Like, one of the things for me is, I'm not an eternal optimist, but I'm going to try to enjoy what I'm watching when it comes to wrestling. It's my escape. I'm trying to have fun with it. So I will look for the good when I can. The way Jim goes about it, because of he's grew up in the business and was one of the biggest stars of the business. Like, I can understand for him, it's not as a positive of a watch. So, it's going to be harder to get him to watch everything and try to enjoy it. So no, I always I love Jim for what he does and gives us good old school wrestling stories. There's parts of the show that give me a little bit of cringe and go, but they're older guys. That's part of it. That's their charm.
That's why I understand all that.
100%. Yeah. I never fault them. I'm never upset. The only thing I fault sometimes is if because neither of them watch the show in detail, and when they'll make guesses about stuff of like, oh, well, I think this is what's happening. I wish they had somebody like they talk about, Jay Sharknado, Jay Staccato. I feel like I wish he was there live. Doesn't have to speak, but like could tell Brian, no, this is what's happening in the storyline.
Yeah, that's what kind of makes the show a little appealing, though. You and I have talked about this before, and I always come across the same way. I'm like, I like it. I understand where you're going. I like it.
I just wish, because I feel like they could analyze if they knew what was going on. They don't have to watch it, but if they knew what was going on, you could get better analytics. But also, too, I do like the charm sometimes. It's just like, it's the two old guys on the porch, sipping a whiskey and yelling about it, which is also fun, and I enjoy that for what it is, for sure.
It's like when you and I are talking, all of a sudden someone butts in. I don't mind, but if I'm wrong, just let me know in the comments.
Valid. Mike Glass, speaking of comment, just AEW has soured his view on all wrestling. I feel like, unfortunately, it's done that for a lot of folks that lump it together because it is on TV and people think, it is the second biggest promotion. But we've got to remember how few people who actually watch and pay for WWE watch AEW. Like when AEW references are made on WWTV, it's very, very crickets.
It didn't work.
Yeah. I mean, and it makes, like I said, I watched and really enjoyed it for the first few months and tried to really enjoy it. But as we would talk about in our Thursday reviews of Dynamite, the one we watched last week was the first one I'd watched in full pretty much all year. And the 6-year anniversary this Wednesday, we're going to watch it. But we're both going to watch it in full. I'm going to take better notes this time, and we're going to go beat by beat. I'm going to really try to dive into it and talk about it because
it was funny. It was funny. When we were talking about the episode, when I heard Brian Last go, somehow Bryan Danielson made the commentary worse. And I'm like, hey, I said that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You didn't think it'd be possible, but here we are. But it's the timing. Like, no one's timing really works well together. I feel like that's one of the reasons why JR and King were so great together, was they were able to play off of each other and like shut up when the other one was going in, but butt in at the right times. And but no matter if you have 3 people, 4 people, 2 people on the commentary desk, there's no cohesion. It's just,
first off, they should have 2.
I firmly agree with that.
AEW should have 2. That should be it. Pick your 2 and live with it. Fine.
Right. And if you want to change it, like if you want it to be Excalibur, and like even if you do like what Nitro used to do and have it be somebody for hour 1 and somebody for hour 2, like unfortunately it's going to be Excalibur as the lead commentator, as much as we hate that. But if you just had him and Taz for the first hour and then him and Danielson for the second hour, there might be a little bit more of a flow. 2 people can work together as a team better than this mishmash of whatever it's going to be. And then for Collision, have that be like Shivani and, I don't know, Nigel for the whole time. Or if you have to replace him, then maybe do like Shivani and Nigel and then Riccaboni and Nigel. I don't know. Do something different. Yeah, exactly. That's
just something. Just change it up.
I feel like that's all. Whenever we talk about AEW, we always just go, just do something. Like, we give a good idea, but if you're not going to do that, please just do something. And they do nothing. It's just, oh my God.
It's always interesting.
Yep. Which is why our reviews will be fun. They're going to be good times. And I feel like the tagline is, we'll watch the show so you don't have to. And we will give you the beat by beats and the stories. And I'll even try to do like, here's what I think they meant to do, but this is what they did. Cause I feel like there's a lot of, and this 6-year anniversary show, I feel like is going to be,
that'll be a good one.
Yeah. And I feel like it's going to be a lot of Tony trying to rehash the past. It's going to be 2021 again for the 3rd time. But it'll be fun. We'll talk about it. It'll be good.
The weird thing about the show we reviewed is the rating came out. Then the rating was wrong.
Right? What happened with that? I didn't get any.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw, but wherever multiple people I saw, I'll give a shout out to Awful Wrestling because he was the first person.
And Neckbeards, who was just in for a little while too. He had.
Yeah, but I just didn't see where, like I saw the they had the screenshot of where they pulled that from, but I don't know where that was, but it looked legitimate. I mean, those are how numbers are presented. It
was Pro Wrestling something.
I just don't understand. And I feel like it's one of those things too, where, I mean, remember when Alfred used to do the Fast Nationals and they would always hate that unless they looked good. If they looked good somehow, they always would run with it. And is that what happened yesterday with it? Cause I also felt like or last week, I felt like or on Thursday, the ratings came out earlier. Cause I knew for us, we were doing the show at 8:45.
Now you remember I was looking at WrestleNomics. They didn't have it.
Right. That's
someone
exactly.
else did. That was,
Exactly. And then they came out like right before we went on live. And so I was able to get them. But even I felt like that's a little early. Like one of the reasons we talked about here, a little behind the scenes for everybody. We weren't sure if we wanted to do the live Dynamite review on Wednesdays right after it ended or on Thursdays. And we both picked Thursdays. Number one, so we can make sure we've watched the show in full, because I don't always get to watch it live. I'm on the West Coast. It starts at 5 p.m. my time. But the other one was we said, well, hey, usually the ratings will come out. And we even said they'll come out while we're on air, at least, or right before we went on. And that one was on when we were like pre-showing it, like, 15 after. So it was just, I felt like they were early, and I feel like that's why they were early.
Yeah. Usually I catch them like about 5:30 my time. I see WrestleNomics puts them up. Usually.
All right.
And then when we went live, they still weren't up on WrestleNomics, so I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of sense. I still wonder, the people who run the companies know the real numbers, but I just don't understand, like, with what numbers come out, because HBO and HBO Max or whatever it's called now, they're putting out their numbers for their big movies and big shows that have come out, and we still have never seen them actually post what the Dynamite simulcasts get on Max.
They definitely touted Superman.
Right. And Superman and The Pit, that was another one, the show, the Doctor's show with Noah Wiley from ER, and there was a couple other ones that I saw that they promoted because they got big numbers. Right. Which is why I still say, like, there's no chance they're doing anything even decent on Max, because even if it was decent, I feel like they would promote it somewhere. You'd see it, but
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. So yeah,
shall we move on?
I was gonna say we might as well jump into the No Mercy recap, NXT No Mercy from last night. For me, I mean, obviously, we've been watching NXT. I've been watching NXT since we started and gotten you more into it recently. But, I mean, this is one of their, I don't know if it's one of their big four PLEs. I'm not sure what they consider that for NXT. And also, I think NXT kind of just runs with their storylines and puts on the best matches that they can. But, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I thought front to back, it was a fun pay-per-view or PLE, whatever you want to call it. I thought the matches flowed well. Nothing went too long. Nothing was too egregious for me, but what did you think of it?
I liked it. I told you last night when we were chatting, I said, nothing was outstanding, but everything was consistently good.
Right. And I feel like that's a lot of what NXT does, and what really, when you're building people up from scratch, essentially, it's kind of like you need to just don't do anything wrong. Put on the best show you can. Back to talking about Cornette. When he used to be, I think it was when he was talking with the people in Ring of Honor, where they would be trying to do crazy stuff. And it was, hey, you're trying to do a difficulty of 10, but you're giving me an execution of 5. I need you to flip those. And I feel like that's a lot of what NXT is. Like, I know you think you can do an 8, 9, 10, but I need you to be able to pull it off a 5, 6, 7 of what actually you can do so that it works. And then you can prove from there. And that's where I feel like NXT, really does make the best out of the people that they got. And that's, I thoroughly enjoyed the show from front to back. I was surprised that Javon Evans led off the show, since he was on SmackDown the night before, wrestling Sami Zayn in a really good match too.
Yeah, it was good to get this. Yeah, the crowd loves this dude. So.
Everybody does. We've said that from the AAA show, where he was the one guy that was out there at the end of the show with the baby faces. Like, everybody likes him. He's like he's the Ferris Bueller of NXT. Just everybody likes him, whether it's the dope heads, the weirdos, like the whatever she says in that movie. I can't remember the whole line, but you know what I mean? He just clicks. And the match was longer than I expected it to be too. I think it was, if I have the times here, 16 minutes, 28 seconds. And he defeated Josh Briggs, who, Briggs' specialty is in the ring. He's good in ring. not the best on the mic. I feel like that's where he needs a lot more work with it, but he's good in ring. He hits hard. You know, he looks intense. There's definitely some talents there. I think he's been a lot better since he went over to Japan and came back, which, I think that'll be a good thing for, Charlie Dempsey when he goes over there too. I think these, what's the word? Excursions, you know, it's like they used to do where New Japan used to send guys out to go have an excursion for 6 months to a year or whatever, and other territories to learn. I feel like he's come back and been a lot better since then.
He looks like a star. He has to get the interviews over a little better.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he's got everything they need.
Yeah.
He really does.
No, for sure. And that's where I think either with like a, you know, whether it's with a manager or possibly in a tag team for a bit, just to help him get those skills a little bit better off once he gets to the main roster. I mean, but you know, it's also too, there's no rush anymore. I feel like to get from NXT up to the main roster. NXT's its own world now. You know, they do well on the CW, and I don't know what the PLE numbers are, but I was live tweeting with a bunch of people yesterday up during the show. It was a heck of a lot of fun watching it. So, and yeah, Javon Evans, just everybody loves that guy, and he had to win that match, obviously, with losing to Sammy on Friday. Keeps his momentum going.
I am really looking forward to when Javon Evans fills out in the body department.
Right? Yeah. No, it's
because right now he's just a
yeah.
twig.
What I mean, it makes sense because I think he just turned 21 or is he 20? Yeah, he just turned 21 in April. So yeah, I mean, not only is he a kid, but he probably is trying to eat a bunch, but that metabolism at his age is just running through it. So I think he's going to be Sam Kindle, Javon Evans. He's a righteous dude. That's the line I was going for. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. I was surprised with the next match when they said, that they were with the speed, title match and that who was it? Laney Reed was hurt. So I just thought they were going to squash it and not do it. But they actually were able to pull off and keep the storyline going with what they're doing with Sol Ruca, and Jada Parker was able to get a good match. And, you know, she is really, really over with the crowd. I always forget every time when she comes out, but like people really, really like her. She's made a connection. Even when she's trying to be a heel.
Or Sol.
Huh?
Or both?
Yes, both.
Which one?
Yes.
Yeah, both.
I was talking specifically about Jada in that moment, but when you asked the question, I think my answer is just yes. But,
I would agree.
Right. And I thought that was kind of cool I thought it was a smart way to do the match. They made it work. It was still a pretty quick match because obviously it was the speed, although it was the speed title matches, which are 5 minutes instead of 3. 4 minutes, 48 seconds. Sol Ruca gets the win, you know, with a little bit of shenanigans happening in the match. But I mean, I was surprised that they did that, but I was glad that they did because anytime Jada Parker can get more work and effort, it is probably the best for her career because she's definitely a future star, I think.
I like the way they do that whole lighting thing throughout the whole match. That was pretty cool. I'd never seen a speed match before, so I'd never pay attention.
So
the lights go from like, red to black to green.
Yes, and the blue and the green. Yes. So what's funny is I had never seen one until I went to the first SmackDown of the year on January 3rd, I think it was. And yeah, the opening, the pre-show dark match was a speed match between Natalya and Candice LeRae. And I was like, what's going on? What is this? Who? Yeah, I knew that they did them, but I hadn't actually seen them. And this also works because, you know, I know that they did the speed title initially to be on X and have the matches on this platform there, but that deal has gone away. I kind of thought they'd just get rid of the titles. It feels like they might have with the men's. You don't see much with that anymore, but you know, this could work for the women's channel. It gets people some time on the shows. They've had it on regular NXT too. It definitely works as don't put it on the main roster. It doesn't need to be there, but for NXT, yeah, that works. Could also be something that if it doesn't stay on NXT or maybe with the men's one, put it down on Evolve. I just thought of that. Like that could work. Shit, why not?
No, I like it where it is. I like the way it got.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I was thinking nice
little side part to the show.
And that was where Lash Legend came out and got a spear by Zarya and just kind of keeps those storylines going with all of them involved. And, you know, that's kind of one of the cool things about NXT. It kind of has that old school vibe where everybody's got a storyline somewhere. Might not be the best storyline, but then it might blossom into something better. But it seems like everybody's got some sort of storyline at NXT.
Yeah, they did a lot in 5 minutes.
They really, right?
They did.
They did. No, you're right. They really did. But that's one of those things too. Like, hey, here's your time. Go out and shine. And they did. Next up was the weaponized steel cage match, which was a little bit too much, obviously. But we talked about that when we did our show on Friday, where it was done that way because you had the two people trying to be GM with, forget the woman's name, but then Mr. Stone. And that's why, I'm going to make it a steel cage. Well, I'm going to make it a weapons match. Okay. Yeah. But I thought it was done well for what it was. And hopefully this ends the feud between them, but I'm not sure because I kind of thought Blake was going to be the one to go over in the feud officially, but Jordan kind of needed a win. So that makes sense too, but this was fun. It wasn't super, super long. What was it? No, 16 minutes. I was gonna say, I thought it was 15. Yeah. That was under video. 16 minutes, 12 seconds. But, these two, I feel like this is a lot of where for both of them, showcase match, but we're like, you slow it down. You don't need to do everything under the sun because both of them came from different worlds and need to learn that NXT style, the WWE style,
They didn't really, they used the weapons, but, I guess.
It was more.
I told you the other day,
match.
Like the hat on the hat shit bothers me.
I get you, and I feel like they kind of did just focus on it more being a cage match. But that's
the hair spot was kind of cool though.
Yeah, no, that was fun, and like the way it, and like when Jordan hit the move at the end, I'm like, oh, is that it? And that was it. I was glad there wasn't like a kick out of that, and because she hit her with it. I think she calls it the air raid or the raid. Yeah. Through the table, I was glad.
They don't when they hit their move, they're done. That's what it's supposed to be.
No, they do. They do. I just
the crowd's there. You finish it.
Exactly right. Oh, thank you. Julian Ward just put in the comments. The men's speed title will have a match at Halloween Havoc. Which, man, I wish I could go to that because it's in Arizona, but it is nowhere close to me at all, and I do not want to have to get a hotel to go to wrestling. I'm sorry. Was the next match the NXT was the North American title match? Yeah, right. Because then it was the title matches to end the show. Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights. This one I don't think was anything. This is kind of one of those ones where, this wasn't anything too special, but it wasn't anything bad at all either. Like this was Ethan Page walking Tavion through probably the biggest match of his career so far, and I thought it went well. I think Ethan Page is just. I think there was like one or two times where it seemed like either Tavion was going too fast or getting a little lost, and Ethan would grab him in like a headlock or put him in the corner. He's like, it's all right. We okay. Calm down. Take a breath. That's, which I think
he's got a good spot where he is. We talked about this the other day too. He's perfect there. He can be a player coach. He's perfect.
Right. Yeah. And then what's great about how it works is they can, like where he did the stuff with Chelsea Green the last couple of weeks. You can mix in main roster stuff with it. You can do stuff on social media. And again, I think he's got two little kids or one little kid, but either way, like he gets to be with his family. He's on TV every week in a major position. And, his future with the company is being one of those coaches eventually too. He's going to be working in the performance center probably until he doesn't want to work in the performance center anymore. But 10 minutes, 20 seconds. Good stuff.
Yep. Perfect.
So, yeah, exactly. The next match was the one that, I remember we were texting before and you were like, I gotta go. I gotta lock into this match. And I was like, I knew this was your match of the night. JC Jane versus Lola Vice. Cause we have been on the JC Jane. You initially started. You're the conductor of the JC Jane train, but I'm right on there with you. She has been awesome at this. The promo she cut on Tuesday was fantastic. The stuff she's done with Lola where like she let Lola get over on Tuesday so that she could, have the match tonight. She's not afraid of being made to look stupid or made to have, get embarrassed in the show, but she still is the heel champion.
The thing is, she doesn't mind doing that, but she ends up getting her heat back in the way anyway.
She does.
You can be embarrassed. You can be embarrassed. Exactly. You can be whatever, but if you get it back, it doesn't matter. It's all fine.
The Horsemen. It's the Horseman way. Like they would get their asses kicked, but hey, do we still have the belt? Okay, then who cares? She can still say it's another 250-day reign or whatever that she's got now. What I thought was fun though was that they had Fallon Henley come out in the match and do heel partner stuff, but then kicked her out. And Lola Vice loses the match because she was hit by a running knee from a hooded figure on the outside. Who the hell was that? I'm so curious. Yeah.
Everyone's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
By one move, and you're not going to be able to.
Right. No, well, it's a running knee. Like, how many people in professional wrestling today do a running knee? But, shout out. And again, I got a shout out to our boy Sam, because he sent me a DM earlier. He's like, do you think it's somebody from AAA? I'm like, well, I do now. I didn't before. I definitely thought it was somebody. I was thinking it was somebody on NXT who was looking to turn, who like maybe is a baby face that looks to turn heel to add a.
Who on AAA though?
I don't know. Who is she?
No, I would say
been feuding with? She's probably going to be on their next show. I just feel like that wouldn't be either way. There's a lot of opportunities for it. Whether it's somebody from AAA because they're doing a AAA show, I believe. Sometime in October, I thought Triple H just announced, but I'm not 100% sure of that. We can look that up. But, I still, what I initially thought and what it probably will be is somebody in NXT who's been a babyface that's looking to turn heel and fill the spot that Jazz and Nix gave up. So,
I'm going with somebody from TNA.
Yeah. Oh, or TNA. That could be that too. I heard some people saying they thought it was, Ash by Elegance / Dana Brooke. I don't know about that.
You can't tell. You can't.
Yeah. No, you can't. No, you can't tell. I'm just, I know. Even if they say who it is, because they had her hooded so well and covered, they're still at the point where they can Black Scorpion it. Whoever they want it to be, they can make it. And, unless they want to say it's somebody like, 6 foot tall or whatever, but still just, there's so many options, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this moment of like, who is it? Who could it be? I'm excited for this. I think that's something that's super intriguing aside from what happened in the main event, but of everything that's going to happen on Tuesday's show, I'm probably most excited to at least see where they go with this. I don't think they'll tell us yet, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
I would discount AAA because I don't know what kind of female personality is there. You know what I mean? They have more female personalities.
In the mix for the title over there? I don't know.
They have more female personalities that are noticeable in TNA that you would know.
This is true.
Like if you had the 40-year-old Mexican woman doing it, that makes no sense. Why?
Right. No, I don't know. I just know that Lola has been on a lot of AAA shows. There's one coming up. There's a lot of different opportunities there for it. The bottom line is I'm excited for what it could be. This when Sam said that AAA could be, I was just like, that was a door that I didn't even have open that I'm just now peeking through of like, hey, it could be. And what's great is it's a perfect way for Lola to lose the match, but have a gripe so she still, looks strong and then can go into another feud over here and not worry about the title right now if that's what they want to do. They set her up well.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm leaning toward a TNA person. Just because it makes sense with what they're doing right now and where they're going.
And with the invasion coming out, because I think it was after that. I think it was in between the matches where Ava came out and told us that the invasion show was going to be October 7th, where there's going to be 2 Survivor Series type matches, a men's match and a women's match.
So what you'll get is a female on the TNA side all of a sudden turns on a team and she's the hooded figure.
Yeah. Well, I got to shout out to Wrestling Old Head. There's La Hydra from TNA or from AAA. Is supposed to be in a relationship with Mr. Iguana, and I know that Mr. Iguana and Lola Vice kind of flirted in the ring there, so that could be something there. There's a lot of opportunities for it. I'm excited. No matter what they do, I think it'll be great for Lola because I think she'll come out on top to help get her more over because she is a star, as we've said from pretty much the off of watching NXT.
It'd be interesting to see her trajectory, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean she's still young. I think she's only like 26, so she's got plenty of time ahead of her. But I'm excited to see where they go with this invasion show. If you guys want us to, let me know. I'm halfway debating on just going live for it, whether it's on
there's
X
a couple
here
things
or
I
on
want to talk to you
YouTube.
about before you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if the fans want it, I'm down to. If I got to be by myself, I'm cool with it. This one excites me because I feel like this invasion, we're going to get the biggest stars from both brands that are on it. There's a lot of fun. We'll see what happens this Tuesday because this Tuesday is going to set up, I assume, the 2 different tag teams. You're going to, you're going to go into it with that. So the tag teams are set up. There's also, Dark States going in the match against, somebody.
Unfortunately, TNA filmed their 2 episodes of Impact in Edmonton over the week. So
Was it 2? I thought it was
No,
I thought it was
2.
just 1. No, that's 2. All right. But I mean, that's, so you don't have the you don't have the NXT involvement on that one with it as much, but you can cut promos with it and that's fine. I'm very, it's the Hardys versus Dark State. That'll be the tag title match that we're getting on that show too. That's what it was. Yeah, right. I just feel like that's something, and also too, like, I'm a sucker for Santino. I always have been. Like, at All Out when Beth Phoenix came out, like my brain immediately went, Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, I
just
despise
I
the
love
person,
Santino.
sorry.
Yeah, I get you. I would say that was the perfect level of comedy for me when he came out. And plus I met the guy in person.
No, that helps. Nice. That helps.
Yeah, it just, I did. I met him and, what was it? Armando Alejandro Estrada. I met both of them at WrestleMania weekend at WrestleMania 26. Nice guys. I'm excited to see where they go for Lola Vice because I think she's, as we said, a big star. I'm excited to see for the Invasion show because I think it's going to be a lot of fun no matter what. I'm surprised it's not like a PLE, but then again, I'm also not because, I mean, you get to October and November, you start to get the sweeps weeks.
Yeah, they're setting up for Bound for Glory.
Yeah, it's that too. And I think that'll help well with, there'll be TNA stars on the CW, which will only help when that rating comes in, that help them get the TV deal that I still think is going to be announced sooner than later. And I mean, like, I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be announced before the end of October. Not from anything I've heard personally, just from what I've kind of read into, what other people have posted, and my powers of deduction, I would say.
Deduction.
Yeah. Oh, and Mike Glass is right. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, that NXT Invasion show. One of the main reasons they're doing it, like you told me, is that's when Dynamite is going to be. Are they calling it a Title Tuesday for that?
I don't know yet. Basically, they're probably something stupid.
Probably. They're getting booted to Tuesday because of, hockey. I think the NHL is starting. Yeah, the NHL is starting. So obviously WWE knew that. And see, this is where I don't have a problem with them counter programming because it's NXT and they're just like, well, screw you. You're going to move into our day.
Yes, they're nice.
We're going to load it up. Yeah. But it's cool because they're not loading it up with, like before when they had the, Title Tuesday from Dynamite, they loaded up, with John Cena and Undertaker and stuff like that. This is more, we're going to do our own stuff with it, but I still think they're going to kick the shit out of it.
They can always throw in somebody. You never know.
Oh, that's a very valid point.
You just never know what they're going to do.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That is a good point.
Which I like.
Speaking of never know what they're going to do, the title match. Ricky Saints versus Obafemi. This match, I mean, obviously I would say it was the surprise of the night. It was 17 minutes, 20 seconds, was a great match. Ricky Saints looked great. I thought this was going to be another one of the situations of Ricky Saints will get over, but Obafemi will go over. But I was pleasantly surprised how wrong I was when they counted the 3 after that. Was it the 3rd or the 4th DDT that he hit on Oba? I just still was like, just sitting on my couch. I was dumbfounded. I didn't even normally at least make some sort of noise or something. I was just shocked, just dumbfounded.
I wasn't expecting.
I'm still kind of surprised. No, not at all.
I just
not at all.
I honestly wish he would stop doing that pose. I don't like it.
Yeah, I get you.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah, it is. It is a very, very cheesy pose, but it's this pose. I get that. I mean, there's a lot of that with professional wrestling where you just hope sometimes people will grow out of things. And yeah, I don't know, but I was just, I mean, we talked about it on Friday when we did our most recent episode 29, who's going to be the one to beat Oba, cause it's going to be something big for somebody. I mean, clearly they believe in Ricky. Obviously Cody's word meant a lot, but obviously he's also put in the work. I mean, he came in late February, March of this year, into NXT, not put to the main roster, and has put his nose to the grindstone. He's lost big matches. I'm assuming he's putting in the work every week.
Seems like
they're not going to put the title right. They're not going to put the title on him otherwise. So I've been impressed with his work ethic. I've always liked the guy. I liked him a lot in AEW. I don't know why they didn't keep pushing him to the moon. I still think of when he went up against MJF in December 22, 23, whenever MJF 23, I think, when MJF had the title, they had a moment there and it was a big match and the crowd was behind him and no follow up. And I feel like that was the moment where he was like, I'm done. I'm out of here. Like, I'm not re-signing the next chance I get. I'm going to NXT. And good for him. They clearly believe in him. And so do I. I'm a big fan.
I see everyone jump to the conclusion that, well, Oba's going up to the main roster right now. I'm like, no.
Maybe.
Think about what's coming up yet, though.
Right. Yeah.
Him and Trick got to have the unified title match. Do you have a problem with Oba winning that and becoming the TNA championship and going over to TNA for a little bit?
I mean, I don't see any reason Oba needs to go up yet. I mean, he would be fine on the main roster. I just feel like, again, I feel like there's got to be a few more attrition. Like, I would wait till you're done with John Cena, at the end of it. Maybe, is AJ Styles going to have a lot left there?
Look at the guys that are going.
There needs to be a little more room.
You just mentioned it. Cena's going. Styles is going to be going. Orton's definitely heading off.
Right.
He can't even move.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, how much long? And then you look at guys like Roman and Cody, there's not much time left. But yeah, I still think Oba's probably got, I would say at least through, I don't think he goes up until after Mania 42.
Yeah, maybe.
I would think.
Maybe not.
I would think. But I mean, but this is what happened with Braun Breaker, though. I mean, remember, people were saying, oh, he should go up a full year before he went up, but that was then he had the Wolf Dog stuff with Baron Corbin, which let him be funny, but also a badass and like play off the character and grow. And then he turned on him and went heel, and just you could able to do all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they gave Breaker really what we've always talked about, Jake. They gave Breaker the heel and the babyface run, vice versa, whatever. But they haven't done that yet with. Not yet. They may.
Right. No, I think he kind of can't. Yeah, he hasn't really been a heel. Yeah. Like he's been kind of just like a big badass, but I'm excited to see what happens with him next. I'm excited to see what happens with him now after losing, because you kind of have to have that. Like he's really only been this giant dominant force, the ruler of NXT.
Gotta go after Trick.
He kind of needs to.
That's where his priorities are right now.
Plus, I feel like Tony D's going to debut on the main roster at some point soon, in a new character of some sort. I don't know what that's going to be, but since they, Tony Soprano'd him at the end of that NXT a couple weeks ago, I feel like that was ending that character and he's going to go up to the main roster as something else, but we'll see. I don't know. But I'm excited to see what Oba does now after losing, though, because that's, like it's kind of like talk about in life. Like it's not about how you win, it's about how you get up after you lose, which I think that's big for him. Which, I mean, that was a lot of what happened with Trick. Trick had the NXT title and was doing great with it, and then once he lost it, then he was able to kind of, become a heel and become more of a character. I'm with you.
Think about, Bound for Glory is not that far away.
No, it's October 12th. Exactly. Yeah.
So this is
we're coming right up with that.
Yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer almost for Oba, where he's going to pop up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see him being, we shall see. I'm very interested in how this goes out for sure. But
because they had a bunch of the TNA guys posting last night too on.
Oh yeah. No, and I'm assuming they're going to be on NXT, obviously, at some point on Tuesday with picking the teams and all of that. And I mean, it's still just all about Mike Santana with that, of getting him. Mike Santana has to be the one to beat Trick for that title, I feel like, at Bound for Glory, but we will see. I don't know. The thing is, they've got me intrigued enough to be tuning in because, we're only a couple weeks away.
That's a three-way match.
Bound for Glory is 2 weeks away.
That's a three-way match?
I don't know how they're going to do it, I don't think they've said it yet. I'm not 100% sure. Because I don't know.
Because isn't Oba against Trick? When's that?
No, never now. Because Oba lost. That was supposed to be.
There was a match. Yeah, but there was a match made already. Am I wrong?
Well, Oba for a title that Oba doesn't have? I don't think so.
No, it was for the. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think there's good because the bottom line.
Why would they schedule? I don't know why they would schedule something and say it's title for title. If the guy loses it, you get to take the match right off the board and then not have it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be what the match is. I don't remember it being announced in that is the match. I thought they were saying that it was the Hardys and the Dark State that had to go to a finish. I don't know if they announced that it was going to be.
No, I knew that. I'm confused.
Yeah, I think you're conflating this with the match.
No, I'm not. I remember seeing the graphic of Oba and Trick again.
Title for title. Yeah, that was on Tuesday, which didn't go to a finish because Mike Santana. I don't think there's going to be beyond that because it doesn't make any sense to do that. You don't need both titles on one person. You need Trick to lose the title to Mike Santana and Mike Santana to be the TNA champion and only the TNA champion. You don't need anybody to have both titles on the men's side moving forward right now. I don't think.
Well,
doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Like I could see. If they, that's why they couldn't have one of Oba or Trick win that match on Tuesday. It just doesn't make any sense for those titles.
I understood that. I just thought that Bound for Glory had Oba in it already. So,
not to my knowledge. Hey, let's look it up. Let's see here.
No, it's not. It's not. I just thought it was.
Yeah. All right. Well, do they have anything announced for Bound for Glory yet? I don't know. I unfortunately I have not watched TNA nearly as much the last couple of weeks as I've wanted to, just because I've been busy as shit. Matches. We've got Trick Williams versus Mike Santana in a singles match for the TNA World Championship. That is what it's on there right now. You've got there's a 10-person intergender hardcore war. Leon Slater versus Javon Evans for the X Division. Kalani Jordan versus Indy Hartwell for the Knockouts title. The Hardys versus Team 3D in the Nostalgia My Back Hurts match. Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, then the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand for the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships, and Trick versus Mike Santana for the world title. That's what they've put out so far, those 7 matches.
That'll probably be it.
I was gonna say I'm like 7. They're not trying to be like AEW with long shows. And then I forgot about the Leon Slater and Javon Evans for the X Division title. Maybe that's the one where NXT gets a win and Javon does some stuff over there too and goes back and forth. I mean, clearly the kid likes to work.
Kalani Jordan's in there, right?
I was just going to say, and we might as well talk about that. Shout out to Kalani Jordan. She won the vacant TNA Knockouts title on Friday at their show they had there, which amazing for her. Not exactly sure that I know the story of Masha Slamovich had some sort of domestic situation. I don't want to know much, but either way, she had to vacate the title. And at Victory Road on the 26th on Friday, Kalani Jordan beat Lei Ying Lee for the title with Indy Hartwell as the special guest referee. When that came on my X feed, I'm like, what? That doesn't make any, what? But good for Kalani. That's awesome. I think she's going to drop it to Indy at Bound for Glory, but hey, I mean, she can always say she's been the TNA Knockouts World Champion. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was impressed. She's fun to watch.
Kalani's one of those ones that she's like, when I talk about when people ask me like why I like NXT, because I think a lot of times people look at it and like some of it's cheesy and it's this, some of the stuff is polished. And I always say like, no, it's like college versus pros. And what I like about it is watching somebody improve, like watching somebody like Kalani Jordan. She was always decent. You could see she was a hard worker. And then at one point you just saw it click. And she just got better real quick.
Hang on to that thought for 1 second, Jake, please.
Please.
Oba and Trick are on Invasion. I knew I saw it.
Julian Ward in the
chat.
But for
Oba and Trick are on Invasion.
But for what though? Oba and
Trick's got the title.
But Oba doesn't.
It doesn't matter. They're scheduled a match. I knew I saw this.
Okay, but you were saying title for title. I wasn't.
Well, it wasn't title for title because he doesn't have it. But I remember seeing it. That's my whole point was I remember seeing something. And there you go. I'm not stupid.
I never said you were stupid.
No, I said I was stupid. Remember?
That's fair. That's fair. No, I mean that makes sense. I just
I know I remember seeing something, dude, and I just couldn't think of what it was.
I just feel like Trick has to be the one to hold that because Trick's gotta lose it at Bound for Glory. I feel like if Oba beats Trick on the 7th and then Mike beats Oba on the 12th, that kind of just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I remember.
No, I'm with you. No, I'm fully with you.
Insane. That's all.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I was reading. I had a transcript of, not a transcript, but a recap of what Ava said about the TNA NXT invasion, and I'm looking for that, and they didn't put it in there. So
another thing.
Shout out to Yahoo Sports, jackasses. You
Yeah.
could have just told me there. We'd have made it work.
Everyone's on this thing, and I'm on it too, where I'd like to see Paige return to the WWE.
Okay.
I do not want to see her wrestle in the least bit.
Never again, please. Yeah.
But when I watched Ava do her thing yesterday, I said to myself, Paige would be perfect right here.
Yep. Nope. You said Ava do her thing, and I knew right where you were going, my friend. And look, I have yet to really, I don't say much about Ava because honestly, I just feel bad for her just because I feel like she was given this position because of her dad, and that's not her fault, but God, she's terrible at this and it's not gotten any better in the least. And that sucks. But you got to replace her with Paige. You're right. Absolutely. That is so perfect. Like,
if you're going to bring her back, just bring her back here. It's natural.
Yeah. She's great. And she would be great at stuff like that. And then like, you could have things where like, if it does, I mean, you know, like you said, I don't want to see her wrestle either, but if she wanted to again have something, you could have it built to a one-off match of something with it. I don't know, but she would be amazing in those backstage segments, delivering those types of promos. Like she's great at that. No,
it'll never happen, but I want it to happen.
Okay, so Old Head just posted it was supposed to be a unification match at Invasion, but now that won't. Right. And that doesn't make it. Yeah. That doesn't make any fucking sense of why they wouldn't unify them anyway, unless you're going to do it with, Mike Santana involved too.
That's why I was so confused by Saints winning.
Which maybe is what they wanted, because they were like, hey, we're going to unify. Oh, good. We don't have to now.
Interesting little swerve there, I think. Nicely done.
Because I don't think it's just like when they booked the match initially, like, yeah, we want to do this, but no, we don't. You don't want to unify those things. It's just like when they would do those random, like when like WCW and New Japan would have those stuff and like, no, when you have that big match, like, nobody actually ever wins because you can't have somebody going both. It doesn't.
I'm sorry I interrupted you before. You want to continue on Kalani Jordan, please?
No, I did. Yeah. Well, and shout out to Sam who said Kalani's a total sweetheart, which comes across the screen and there's that she is.
Yeah, you can see that.
Good person. But when you watched it and her, like Lash Legends, another one, Jada Parker too, where it clicks, where you see that they're just taking the coaching and understanding it, but they put it into place and then just their matches go from being decent or good, but you could see some little hiccups or other parts to where like, no, they're getting this now. And then there's that trajectory where they take off. The other side of the coin is, somebody like, oh crap, what's her name? The Lion girl, Nikita Lyons. Nikita, like where it started to click and then it just never did. And she never improved and has kind of been off television and not done much with it.
Yeah, she's down in the, LFG or somewhere.
Evolve.
Yeah, okay.
Which I have not watched much of, and that's on me, but I know there were some people, or at least some reported that certain people were released or not renewed because they weren't willing to go down to Evolve. If she was told, hey, you got to go down there to get better to come back up, and she said, okay, shout out to her for that, because that's a work ethic that you need. Like I know Lexus King has been on Evolve a couple times and he's promoted the shit out of it on Twitter and like not seen it as demotion. Like, no, I'm going to go work because I'm now helping people that are newer to this than me get better at this. That type of stuff I am all for. Like you've got to be able to understand, like, no, I'm not going to be main eventing WrestleMania in 2 or 3 years. It's going to take time to build it up. And I forget the names, but I know a couple of the recent releases of NXT, the story was they weren't willing to go down and the ones who stayed were. And that's cool. Yeah. That's good.
It's going to be cool to see Jada Parker when she gets up. She's going to be like Nia Jax should be.
Yes. That's a good way to fit. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
She's the big woman. She's a bigger lady.
Or do you mean Lash Legend? Lash is the taller one.
Jada Parker.
Jada's big, but all right. Yeah. No,
I'm talking Jada. Yeah. I'm not talking Lash. I know the difference, which is unusual. But Nia Jax should be that way, and she's not.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, we all saw what happened on Friday. Oof.
Yeah.
Wolf. See, and that's one of those things where
Is that okay? We gonna go there real quick.
I mean, we
talk about
can.
that?
I mean, I feel like we've got to at least mention it, like it happened on everyone's television live in front of their faces. Just
Now that was because I caught it on the replay, so I missed it initially. So this was Nia Jax and Jade, right?
it was Nia, Jade, and Tiffany. Or there was a
Yeah, it was a
Tiffany
three-way.
for the title. Yeah, and
All I saw was Jade's face. I'm like, what the hell happened? So I went back and saw it. I don't know if I can totally blame Nia Jax or not.
I'm not. I
don't know.
I'm not saying anybody's to blame. I just like shit happens, and it was just one of those situations that just.
It's a spot where you should put your hands there.
You would think. I don't know. And what's funny is like I was in a similar position, and except for like I started it probably like half hour, 45 minutes late, and I was catching up during the commercials. And normally I'm really good about not like keeping checking my phone. And I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention, hit the dispensary pad a little bit too hard. Not sure. Just I looked at it and I just like my 3 notifications were just what the hell? Like I'm just all about oh shit. Something I honestly thought someone like broke a leg in the match or something with what I saw on Twitter on my feed. So it wasn't that bad, but holy shit,
Close.
dude.
Rearrange your face.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. No, that was something. I was just, yeah.
And I'm still old school in the fact that I don't think you should take many risks outside the ring or on the apron.
Yeah. Oh God, no. 100%.
Just something I don't like to see because you never know what's going to happen.
100%. No, I'm
Those
with you.
stairs are dangerous as hell.
No, and it's one of the reasons why I yell and get so frustrated about AEW a lot of times, and even sometimes with what NXT used to be. I feel like since Sean's gotten there, they've gotten away from that of stuff of like, yeah, okay, you did pull it off, and everybody's quote unquote okay, but you don't need to do that. That didn't get anything more over than it was already going to be. And God bless if you just messed up a little bit and the back of his head hits the corner of the stairs, or I don't know, you're sweaty and somebody slips out of your hand and their top of their head hits the apron. Or,
what was the reason for the 3 girls to be outside anyway? What was the whole purpose
I mean, just
because
it's a triple threat, so there's no count out, no disqualification. As Cornette sometimes says, lazy booking. Sometimes it is. Usually a lot of times it is. And I feel like that one was just, yeah, I don't really know. Maybe
people are, you know how people are. Nia's a hazard.
I mean, here's the thing.
I don't put that on her, dude.
No, and I feel like there was times years ago that she definitely had. I feel like since she's returned, she has been much better and much smoother in the ring. But as everybody says, this is not ballet. Sometimes shit happens, and there's been a couple of things where I feel like she's been blamed. Where maybe she was at fault, but probably more likely it's just like, this is wrestling, shit's gonna happen. It's kind of like when she punched Becky in the face, like it was a melee, it was a brawl. How many times do we see someone get potatoed in one of those? Like, that shit happens.
Yeah, that worked out good when she punched her in the face.
I was just gonna say, and it made Becky's career, so I don't think Becky's too upset about it. I mean, she missed that one match afterwards, but made her the man, so I think she takes that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I wasn't planning to bring that up, but you brought up Nia.
That's just something. Yeah, it was just something I caught. Yeah. Noticed Jade's face has been rearranged. So
no, but it's talking about like Jada Parker and when she comes up, and there's so much talent on the NXT women's roster. That's what it's funny. A lot of people talk about Oba or Trick or other people coming up on the men's side. I'm like, there's so many more on the women's side that are going to be ready so much sooner. And unfortunately, that for people like, if Jade doesn't get it sooner than later, there's going to be replacements coming sooner on a lot of that stuff with it, because there's so much talent on NXT that they got to go somewhere sooner than later, I would think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, now if they book this right and Jade picks up on it right, this could be her turning point right here. Could be.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right. That's a good way of putting it. I would.
You bring her back. She messed up my face. Now you get badass Jade's what you should have.
I was just gonna say, if she comes in like an ass kicker, like coming in, just no shit, just, I almost said cut the shit, but I wasn't trying to go back to the old AEW gimmick, but kinda, you know what I mean? But like actually kicking ass when she's supposed to. Yeah.
Yeah. Why not have her come back with a group of girls like the old baddies were? Screw it. Just do it. You need something new with this woman. Give it to her here. If she can't do it, then that's it. Sorry.
I mean, shit, if Jada's ready, like that'd be a great spot for Jada to be one of the baddies who then turns on.
You have Jade, Jada, Lash. And
right. No, I mean,
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a few different options of different people that could do it of it. That's not a bad shout. And that's a good way. It's one of the things whenever people want to bring somebody up from NXT, I'm always looking for a way to just at least initially ease somebody into the main roster. So they're not just thrown into the fray. Like not everybody is Braun Breaker or Jacob Fatu, who like from day one, they're all like, yep, over, got it, good. We want that to happen, but it doesn't always work out. So I always kind of think of ways to fit people in. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in, women a lot of times don't get as much leeway as men. So when you think of that, of like which ways they can go up and get a chance to break through, that would be perfect. I mean, look at what's happened with the Secret Service. Both the women who've been with Chelsea, both of them have kind of they've been, as opposed to just being treated like jobbers or nobodies on the roster. So yeah, I think that'd be great for Jade. Plus then Jade wouldn't have to be, because I feel like sometimes with Jade in backstage promos or interviews, just like with a match, she can get a little lost in places. When you have somebody with you, even if you're the speaker, they can kind of help get you back on track, whatever. No, I like this idea. I like this idea a lot, actually. The more I think about this, I'm like, hey, shit, it's like the female hurt business. I am sold on this shit. Yes.
Just do something.
Again, do something. Give me something. Yeah, you use this to your advantage, I think, is your main point of it, of like, hey, you kind of have this shitty, crazy situation of where you're at. Everybody saw it. It went somewhat viral. Use it. No, I like this.
Yeah. The other thing that everybody saw was the mess up at the end.
Yeah. The not kicking out and people all over the referee. I forget which referee it even was, because I didn't notice that, because I never blame the referees. Like, come on, like they're not the ones who are.
When you gotta count, dude.
Yeah, but it's for the title, and they've got back hair, and you know what I mean, like. They've got Stephanie and Tiffany for I get you. You're mostly right on it. But
yeah, you can't just count to 2 and go, oh shit.
You didn't go, oh shit. No, that's bad. Man. It's bad news. It's bad. No, it's one of those situations that's just, again, on live TV and is so
if you count, if he counts to 3, you can get out of it with booking. You can book your way back into it the right way if you book it right.
Right, but you've only got
Yeah, but you got to do it. You can't have the company looking like shit, which is what happened.
Yeah,
we make fun of AEW for not counting the 3 and shit. I'm keeping it real here, buddy.
Yeah, but the problem is in the referee situation, like. It's for the title. You only have
but you've got to count it. You can't make yourself look like an idiot. You can't just stop your count of 3. I mean, I understand completely where you're going. Trust me.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm literally speaking out loud.
You're right.
Because you can't.
You're right.
No matter what, the situation's fucked no matter what you do. Because if he counts it, then everybody's going to know that you're literally rebooking it back to get Tiffany. And
fine.
Because they've already put out the banners for Tiffany and Stephanie. I'm with you on that. Here's the problem with it is, neither situation is good either way. Either the referees look like shit, or we know the booking's bullshit, which we already knew anyway. So.
No, you don't know it's bullshit. You can finagle your way through it. You can
I don't know. Because if Jade's got, that's the other thing too. Is Jade's face going to be all right to have defended?
That's where you can use your advantage. Well, she's injured. She can't. Shit like that. You can work around.
I guess, but then she's the champion. I don't know. They're just
people get paid a lot more money than we do to come up with these ideas.
This is very true. I was just actually going to say, like, this is where you need house shows again. You can have something happen at a house show. Fuck the old, what was it? Kevin Nash and Bob Backlund. 8 seconds, baby. Just power bomb and go. Dude, done. Bam. Oof.
Yeah, you could, Be a lot easier if you're right.
Yeah.
A lot easier if you had house shows. You can finagle your way through it in 2 seconds.
Although,
now, was it
I'm seeing in the chat where like, was it Tiffany doing the pin? I thought it was Jade. This is where.
Oh, it's Tiffany.
Yeah. All right. So then who cares? Let it go. End the match there. Fine. Who gives a shit? That's what you should have done. Just end it there. And then like you got 4 minutes, 5 minutes to show. Somebody has to cut a fucking shitty promo. Fine. Do it. That I don't care about. You know what I mean? That's what I would do at that point. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, I was thinking it was like for a title switch of it. Cause no, my brain, nope, I fucked that up. That's 100% on me. And because of it, no, count it. And then 5 minutes, like, I don't know how many minutes were left in the show. Like what, 6, 7? I mean, if it's 10 minutes, just come out and, I don't know, send Charlotte and Alexa to come out and start kicking somebody's ass. Just, I don't know.
Fill that time in their, people can fill that time in their sleep.
Right. Just like the old days, just start throwing heels out to the ring. Like when, Mankind had to bury Undertaker and they realized how much they had to dig. Just start
That's
sending
one of the
out
best moments ever.
Yeah.
Give me everybody.
You see poor Mick trying to dig with the shovel, like, and we love Mick, but his cardio at that point, especially too, not the best. But send out the heels. Fuck it.
It was great seeing Mick Foley bending over, shoveling with his hands between his legs.
They learned that lesson quick, and they got those backhoes in there for the rest of those things. Just, get me the John Deere. Yeah. Oh man, I hadn't thought about that in forever. Yeah, that shit's hilarious. That's one of my favorite reasons of like why I love, people. Some people don't like him or whatever, but good shoot interviews. Not so much for like the juicy stories. Those can be fun or whatever. My favorite are those type of stories where it's like shit went bad, somebody messed up, something shitty, and we are just here's how we had to try to fix this. Oh crap. That's great.
I could listen to those all night. Those are
God,
great.
those are my all
like you. I don't care about the juicy gossip details. I care about the flubs and the mishaps
right?
and
the
referee wasn't ready to go jump into the ring, so we had to do this. We had to do that stuff like that.
Yeah, somebody wasn't there with it or somebody. Yeah, no, those are great. God, I forgot about that. That's great.
Have you ever been to a match where something screwed up? Do you remember? Event?
So the one the number one match that I went to, that SummerSlam 2003 with the Elimination Chamber, when Goldberg kicked the thing and cut his leg, and then Triple H was also like wearing the fucking like bike shorts because he had the groin issue, like, and then they tried to make it where Goldberg it was supposed to be like Triple H or Ric Flair gave Triple H the sledgehammer, but it was a bad hit off the spear. Like, yeah, that was, the Elimination Chamber looked cool, and there were parts of that match that were fun, but yeah, there was a couple, but it was only the second Elimination Chamber they ever had. So it was just
that's the original one with the bars and
and like and they were with the like
no one wanted to take a bump on that because they killed him.
and the outside was like a full on grate, and like it wasn't nearly as nice as the one that they have now is. It's a little bit bigger and roomier. Yeah, no, it was the one that literally was made by somebody who hates human beings and wants to watch fame. I'm glad I went to it and saw it in person, but I also, I've never been to a second Elimination Chamber match, and I'm not upset about it. That was fun though. Have you been to anything that's had anything like that happen, or?
I'd have to really think about it, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I was trying to think.
I have the only one. I have one kind of funny story.
Please.
I think I might have even told you this before. Maybe I haven't. I don't remember. I worked for a tech company way back, and we were dealing with Bob Ryder. Of wrestling.com.
Yeah.
And Bob had a connection with ECW, WCW and stuff. WCW was coming to Cleveland. So I asked him for tickets. He got us like 4 or 5 tickets. And we drove over to Cleveland. It takes about 3 hours. We get there, and this is when they were doing the Ravens gimmick with Billy Kidman, and they're all dirty guys and shit like that. Remember?
Okay, Ravens flock. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're sitting on the floor, 6 rows back or so, dead center. And what they did was they had these seats to our right that were always open until they brought the flock in. So they bring Raven and the guys in, and we had to be kind of PG because there were kids all around us, and we were all kind of respectful dudes at the time, even though I was younger, but still respectful of kids. So we're yelling at them, use a bar of soap, use some shampoo, stuff like this. Next commercial break comes up. The security guards, they call the security guards over to them. Then the security guards come over to us, and they're like, guys, can you stop being so funny? They're trying to keep a straight face for the cameras and they can't do it because you're making them laugh. So that was pretty funny. I got a kick out of that.
That's awesome. Oh, that's fun. No,
other than that, I can't think of anything that stands out.
Yeah, I've never seen, like most times I've been to matches that because usually, like, let's be real, 9 times out of 10, everything goes off without a hitch. But, we remember the 1 more than the 9, that's for sure.
Yeah, or else you'll remember it even happening. Like something major could have happened, you'd have never known.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the one recently was when Gunther beat Jay. I think everybody was kind of surprised it happened, but it was supposed to, like I've had those moments, but yeah, no, the Goldberg leg cut, that one was bad because we were only like 5 or 6 rows up. We had really good seats for that SummerSlam. That was back when you could get, 6th, 7th row SummerSlam tickets for, I think like $100 a ticket. I don't think it was that bad. I mean, it wasn't 60 grand or whatever you're paying now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, me and like 3 or 4 buddies went. And that was the first pay-per-view I ever went to, was that one.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Well, I went to a few of them. I went to a Cyber Sunday once. That was weird.
Did you catch, before I wrap it up, you caught I know you saw it, but did you see that when Jey Uso hit himself with the chair? It's pretty funny.
Yes, I did.
Like,
I didn't catch it live. I saw the clip on here. Yeah, no, he gave himself a nice little rocking.
Yeah, they switched that whole ending around.
Oh, did they? I didn't realize that.
If you saw the clip, you saw LA Knight yelling to Braun Breaker, "Go for the spear! Go for the spear!"
Yeah, I had it on mute. I had it on mute. I was watching it on my phone.
Yeah, they called out the ending. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, that's professionals though. Like that's how you're supposed to do it in this business. That's like when you see somebody like, and I'm not even talking about AEW. This happens in WWE too. This happens anywhere where they'll make a mistake in something. And then instead of trying to figure out something else or doing a different way about it, they go back and go right back to where they were in that same spot and do it all over again. Like, no,
like that.
I understand, like, you've mapped this out, but you've got to be able to work on your feet a little bit. You've got to be able to adapt and move. I'm not saying that we're got to go back to where you call everything in the ring. That's never going to happen again, but there's got to be. And I hope that, I mean, with who the trainers they have in NXT, I do feel like that most everybody that's come through onto the main roster from NXT can at least do that. And I say that specifically because I feel like the one who we've seen that can't, she didn't go through NXT, and that's still the biggest issue with Jade that I think did.
Yeah.
I think if they'd have put her through NXT, she'd have been fine. She'd be on the main roster by now. Like, she wouldn't have wrestled that first Mania match. She would have wrestled the second one. Like, she wouldn't have been in that first one where it was her, Jade, and Naomi together as the big 3. Like, that wouldn't have happened. But that didn't need to happen. It would have been better.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. So this coming Thursday,
yes,
8:45 p.m. will be our second review of Dynamite, the 6th anniversary edition of Dynamite, by the way.
Yep, we will go live at 8:45 p.m. Eastern through our YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, it's right there, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn. Please leave a comment, join us. That last week was a good trial run. I figured out a few other things that I want to do, and I'm really looking forward to this one even more so now that I'm gotta plot.
Then after that, we're gonna do an interview with somebody special coming up on Friday.
I'll probably release that on Saturday simply just because I feel like that's going to take some editing because that's going to be a long one, but I'm excited for that.
Should be fun.
Might come out Friday depending on the time of it, but we've got, that episode is the reason why we haven't done a classic match review in a bit because we're giving you a couple in that one. So that'll be a lot of fun.
It's more than a couple. It's a time period.
I was just
not really a match. It's a time period.
Right. Well, there's 3 specific ones that we'll get into, but I mean, we're going to let him go.
He's going to touch on so many things.
I'm excited. Yeah. Anybody who's a fan of Dusty Rhodes should be pretty excited for that one. So I'm excited for that one. And then
next week, Sunday, will be our overseas edition of Spaces, starting at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock UK time.
9:05 UK time.
9:05 UK time. And our special guest will be the honorary Zeus.
Yep.
So.
Yep, and I will make a post for that one coming up soon, and we'll let everybody know and make sure we remind everybody for that one. But yeah, no, that's it. We got some good show notes coming up. But yeah, be really excited for this Thursday at our live show, and we'll record a great episode this Friday, and I'll get it out as soon as I can. Anything else you wanted to cover before we get out of here, my friend?
Since Friday's going to be like our interview show, do you want to do a regular show on Wednesday, like a Raw and
yeah, I can probably pull that off.
Review?
Yeah, we'll figure out a time with your work schedules and things. We can figure that out.
Stuff this week, boy.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Well, and I figure like too, a lot of stuff's going to be they're going to be building up more because not only, Bound for Glory is the 12th, but Crown Jewel is the 11th. And so, just like how TNA and NXT don't have much time to build for Bound for Glory, they don't have a lot of time to build for Crown Jewel. And I know that's sold decently well already in Australia, but they go overseas, they're going to put on a big show. So I would assume Raw is going to be pretty intense.
Our episode 30 will come out Wednesday night or Thursday morning.
Hell yeah.
Then our Dynamite review will be Thursday night. And then our special will be Friday night or Saturday morning.
Yep. And then Sunday Spaces at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we are coming out with content left and right for y'all. So please like, share, subscribe, donate if you want to. We are here. If you got any questions or anything you guys want us to talk about, leave a comment. Let us know. We are happy to include every single one of you guys. We love each and every one of you, and we will catch you next week. Peace.